China, alarmed, Philippines unveils its longest military runway yet. In the heart of the South China Sea, a new line has been drawn. This isn't just a line on a map, it's a bold, concrete statement on Pagasa Island. The Philippines has completed its longest military runway, a move that shakes up one of the world's most contested regions. Tensions are high. Every ship and plane is under scrutiny. This runway is more than infrastructure, it's a declaration. The Philippines is here to stay. For years, China has built military bases on artificial islands nearby. Now the Philippines answers back. The new runway allows larger military aircraft to land, changing the game for troop deployment, supplies and surveillance. Pagasa is no longer a remote outpost, it's a front line in a geopolitical struggle. The world is watching as the Philippines asserts its sovereignty with concrete and steel. For the small community on Pagasa, it's a lifeline and a new source of security. But it also puts them in the crosshairs of potential conflict. The government calls it a defensive measure, but in these waters defense and provocation are two sides of the same coin. The runway is a calculated risk, a powerful move in a complex chess game. It marks a new chapter in the South China Sea's troubled story. The Philippines, with limited resources, is making a significant impact and asserting its rights under international law. As the sun sets over the new strip, its shadow stretches from Pagasa to Beijing and beyond. The message is clear: the strategic landscape of the South China Sea has changed. Pagasa Island is tiny, just 37 hectares, but its significance is enormous. It's the only Spratly island with a civilian Filipino community, serving as the administrative center of Calayan. For Filipinos, Pagasa is more than a remote rock. It's home and a symbol of sovereign rights. Its remote location makes life tough, supplies are hard to get, and the sea journey is long and dangerous. Until now, only a short, unpaved airstrip connected Pagasa to the outside world. This isolation left the community vulnerable and limited military patrols. Yet, Pagasa stands as a defiant outpost in a sea of competing claims. Its civilian presence strengthens the Philippines' legal position. Under international law, inhabited islands can claim exclusive economic zones. Schools, a clinic, and a town hall prove Pagasa is more than a military post. It's a living Filipino town. Life here is simple and challenging. Residents are mostly fisherfolk and government workers, proud to guard the nation's frontier. Every child born, every flag raised, reinforces the country's claim. Pagasa is a small but mighty symbol of national pride and determination. It holds the weight of a nation's hopes. The new runway is their connection to the rest of the country, and a promise they won't be forgotten. On this tiny island, sovereignty is lived every day. Pagasa's story is proof that even the smallest places can shape history. Building the new runway on Pagasa was a feat of engineering and resolve. Crews extended and paved the old airstrip with reinforced concrete, making it strong enough for military transport planes and even fighter jets. Every material, sand, gravel, machinery, had to be shipped across hostile waters, under the watchful eyes of foreign vessels. Chinese Coast Guard ships often shadowed supply runs, creating a tense atmosphere. Despite the pressure, workers pressed on, knowing they were building more than a runway. They were building a lifeline. For the military, this changes everything. Troops and equipment can now reach Pagasa in hours, not days. Rapid response to threats and expanded surveillance are now possible. Planes from Pagasa can monitor a much larger area, protecting fishermen and marine resources. The runway transforms Pagasa from a vulnerable outpost into a strategic base. It's also a humanitarian asset. Medical evacuations and disaster relief are now much faster. The runway opens the door to economic development and tourism, connecting Pagasa to the nation. For residents, it means safety, security, and hope. The concrete strip is a promise. Pagasa will not be left behind. In contested waters, this runway is a lifeline and a shield. It's a testament to Filipino determination. The new runway on Pagasa stands in stark contrast to China's nearby island building. The Philippines upgraded a natural island. China created artificial ones from submerged reefs. On Mischief, Subi, and Fiery Cross reefs, China built sprawling military bases, long runways, deep ports, advanced radars, and missile shelters. These artificial islands are unsinkable aircraft carriers, projecting Chinese power across the region. The scale dwarfs the Philippine effort. China built multiple fortresses in record time, permanently altering the sea's geography. This activity has destroyed marine ecosystems and violated international law, according to a Hague tribunal ruling China ignores. The Philippine runway is David's slingshot to Goliath's sword. The Philippines isn't trying to match China's might. It's strengthening its defense and asserting legal rights. The runway shows the Philippines won't be pushed out of its own territory. It's a symbol of resistance, built on history and law. China's artificial islands represent power. Pagasa's runway represents legitimacy. In this contest, the Philippines is making its stand with what it has. The world is watching which claim will endure. The new runway is more than a military asset, it's a legal anchor for the Philippines. In 2016, the Philippines won a landmark case at The Hague, invalidating China's sweeping claims. The runway demonstrates effective occupation, active governance and development, a key principle in international law. Alongside the civilian community and local government, the runway proves Pagasa is a functioning part of the Philippines. Under UNCLOS, inhabited natural islands get exclusive economic zones, unlike China's artificial islands. Improving infrastructure makes life sustainable, strengthening the legal claim. China refuses to recognize the ruling, but the Philippines' actions are within international law. By building on Pagasa, the Philippines challenges power with law. The runway is a peaceful but firm defense of national rights. It's a clever move, using law to counter force. The new runway raises the stakes in the South China Sea. While defensive for the Philippines, it could provoke China, increasing the risk of miscalculation. The region is crowded with military vessels. A small incident could escalate fast. China has responded aggressively before. Water cannons, blockades, swarms of ships. A stronger Philippine presence may trigger a cycle of escalation. The South China Sea is vital for global trade. Conflict here would disrupt the world economy. The runway is a calculated gamble, drawing a line in the sand. The hope deterrence, not provocation. The Philippines isn't alone. It has the United States as a powerful ally. Their mutual defense treaty means an attack on one is an attack on both. The U.S. has clarified attacks on Philippine forces in the South China Sea trigger the treaty. This American guarantee deters aggression and gives the Philippines confidence to act. The alliance is reinforced by joint exercises, intelligence sharing, and U.S. military aid. American forces can access Philippine bases, and the new runway could be used in joint drills or crises. But the alliance is a double-edged sword. The Philippines must balance ties with both the U.S. and China, its top trading partner. Some Filipinos worry about being caught between superpowers. The government must use the alliance for defense, while keeping diplomatic channels open with China. The American shield is essential, but not simple. The runway's value is magnified by this partnership. In this tense region, alliances matter as much as runways. For Pagasa's residents, the new runway brings pride and anxiety. After years of isolation, it's a lifeline, better access to care, supplies, and family. The military's quicker response brings relief and national pride. Residents see themselves as pioneers, living proof of the Philippines' claim. The runway validates their sacrifice and offers hope for new opportunities, but it also makes Pagasa a bigger target. Chinese ships patrol just offshore. The threat is real. The runway means safety, but also greater risk if conflict erupts. Life here is a daily balance of pride and peril. Residents are guardians of sovereignty, but also parents wanting peace. Their stories mirror the nation's dilemma, strength and vulnerability side by side. On Pagasa, hope and fear coexist. The runway is both shield and spotlight. The new runway marks a turning point, but the South China Sea's future is uncertain. The Philippines aims for credible deterrence, not to win a war, but to make aggression too costly. Strengthening defenses creates space for diplomacy. Peace is the goal. No one wants war. The Philippines must keep talking with China, using law and diplomacy to manage disputes. The runway is leverage at the negotiating table. Allies' support is vital to uphold international law and stability. The world can't let might make right in these waters. The runway is a test case for peaceful resistance. For the Philippines, it's a symbol of strength and hope for lasting peace.